1842 from Hartlepool I moved to Crewe. Found myself a job to do, working on the railway. I was wearing corduroy bridges, digging ditches, pulling switches, dodging hitches. I was working on the railway. 1843 I broke my shovel across my knee. Went to work for the company in the Leeds to Selby Railway. I was wearing corduroy bridges, digging ditches, pulling switches, dodging hitches. I was working on the railway.
Good evening and welcome. Start off by introducing you to my support crew for the evening. We have the wonderful Ruby Claire.
Good evening.
The rained upon William.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
And the skiving Terry, who's en route to his holidays. He's at base camp.
On base camp for my holiday. Just we're getting on a ferry.
They'll be looking
Evening,
at you
everybody.
tonight and keep an eye on you lot in the chat and passing on questions, etc. As per usual. Usual thing, if you've got a question, put some question marks in front so they've got a chance of seeing it because the chat can go fast.
Yes.
Other than that, just chat to each other and enjoy yourselves. That's what we're here for.
There we go.
That's it.
But we already covered all those topics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So good night, everybody.
Bye then.
Lovely job.
So what we're
Right.
doing tonight is this piece of wood, which was given to me. This is actually about 19 inches corner to corner, but it's a crutch and it's got lots of splits in it. So by the time I process it down, all of this got cut away. A lot of it's cut away because of splits and chainsaw scars. But also, when I was cutting it, I managed to cut a thin slice. And I don't know if this camera's going to pick it up, but just through here you can see the speckling that tells me that I've got a piece of beech. So that's what I'm working tonight, is a piece of beech. So let's get rid of this bit. Turn the lathe on and start cutting.
Right. I'll introduce everybody. Hi.
Yes, please.
Yes. Yes, Lucy, you're correct. Right. First in today, other than the earest of worms, was Paul Findlay, followed by Colin Izzard, Mike Evans, Roy's the boy, Delroy's in, and I'm not exhausted from my allotment. I'm on holiday, Roy, as you know. Then there's Rob from Kringspor Abrasives, Lucy Bundy Rose in, Wood Butchers in, Gary Bartlett's in, Doug Miller, Malcolm Douglas, Paul Hayden, Des Barnwell, hello Des Barnwell.
Hey, Des.
Susie the Swiss Wood Turner's in, James Crawford's there, Jennifer's Craft and Creations is also in, Greenhaven Creations is there, Fred Gilliver's there, Anthony Green is also in with us tonight, and Rob the Professor is in. That so far is all the names I've got on my list. Good evening, everybody. Hope you enjoy yourselves. And,
Welcome along, everybody.
welcome along.
Yes, it should be a good time. Hopefully they've got some questions for us.
Don't forget, everybody, put your hands up if you want to. Oh, by the way, Steve Perkis and Andy Clanelli has just joined us. Put your hands up if you want Pete to do next week as well. And the week after.
No, just next week.
How long are you going for, Terry?
Oh, only another 8-10 days. Lovely
You
job.
might as well round it off to 2 weeks.
Wow. No, I've got to get back to 10 my allotment. I can't be 3 weeks off the lathe, can I really?
You might forget how to turn.
I've been here 5 days. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I might actually.
No fear.
Andy Intermediate's in. Andy.
Hi, Andy. Welcome along.
Hi, Andy.
Terry, the occasional turner. He has used those.
After Terry's last holiday, it took him 3 weeks to find out where the on-off switch was.
It was, yeah, bad news.
Do you get withdrawal symptoms, Terry, when you're away from
No.
it for a few weeks?
No, I've turned for like 50 years. I don't get withdrawal symptoms anymore.
All right.
Question from Anthony Green. Are there any times that you don't use any type of sanding sealer? I sanded on a bowl and went straight to Yorkshire Grit, and it brought out the grain much better than using sand and sealer.
Glyn used to say that if you forget to put the sanding sealer on, put 2 coats of Yorkshire Grit on. And as Glyn invented it, he will know.
Well, I don't use sanding sealer if I'm going to be using an oil finish.
I don't
No.
either.
No.
If you're using oil or stains, things that are going to soak into the wood, then you don't want to use any sanding sealer. Because you don't want to stop things soaking into the wood. Remember that when I changed the camera and switched the lathe off. This piece is going to have a hole in it when I've finished. Because my foot's going to be about there-ish. And there isn't enough wood there to give me a shape I like. So I'll end up with a hole, which is fine by me.
Something
And we
different?
don't mind either. We don't mind either.
No.
It's only going to be burnt anyway.
It's going on the fire pit, yeah.
Well, in that case, it doesn't matter.
No.
I put out a short last night or the night before, I can't remember,
Oh, I've seen it today.
of my practice goblets getting burned.
Right.
What,
What's
you
the
mean?
shortest time you got down to, Pete? Sorry, Ruby. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. You mean you actually have to practice?
Yeah,
This doesn't just come automatic?
Yeah, should do. Should have
well,
2 lathes
I-
running, but gouging
I
each hand.
included my
Just make the
5-minute
goblet.
goblet in my live demos as an icebreaker. But I also wanted to change the tools that I used to use other tools that I can pass around and talk about. So I had to relearn how to do a 5-minute goblet.
Captive ring.
I actually achieved 3 minutes 40 seconds when I did it live, so that was pretty good.
Oh, it's just that's what my question was to you there. That's pretty good.
I find for roughing these out anymore, I tend to go to the square easy wood tool.
I don't
Yeah,
have
it
any,
did say
so I
quicker,
can't do that.
No, I don't either.
Really?
No,
I have them, but never used them.
never used them.
Well, you want to make sure the cutter is right at center when the tool is level, and that you don't have a big overhang. And I find that I can rough out the back side on something like this faster than with a gouge.
But is it more pleasurable?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Jamie demoing them for several years now, and they look effective, but I never learned how to use them. And as you can see, I've got a range of tools. My wall is full, so I've never used carbides apart from hollowing.
So I guess the next time I visit, I'm going to have to show you how to use those as well as paint.
Well, no, you have to build me a bigger workshop first, Ruby, because I've got to have somewhere to put
Don't
them.
you swear at him? Don't you swear at him, Ruby? Don't you say paint?
Decorated pieces.
Ruby
You
hasn't
swear at
lost
me.
faith in me yet. She still tries to teach me to paint.
Oh no, well, no, I'll give up 8 years ago. Pete, don't do paint. Simple.
No, me either.
I don't mind actually. I quite like paint.
What does Brian
Like
says?
painting.
Round and brown.
If it's done properly, it can be effective.
Just taking the corner off there so I can get my tool rest in, but Also remembered I've got a new tool rest.
Jennifer's Crafting Creations has a question from Mark, actually, but she's put it up there. Does the angle of the skew make any difference? Brackets, not the sharpening angle.
Yes, it
which
does.
angle do you mean then?
Yes,
The
it
angle
does.
at which you hold it. It makes a tremendous difference.
Usually it comes at about 70 degrees.
The angle of the actual skew, it makes a difference on how you hold it and how you use it. And having multiple skews with the same angle means that you can just change tools without thinking about it. But my round skew I've taken straight across, because for the round skew I find that works better for me.
Ben Jam is in. Market Turning Craft is in. Good evening, both. Yeah.
Hi, Ben. Hi, Mark.
That one is straight across, although it technically is a skew, and when I received it, it did have a skewed angle on it. I just couldn't get on with it, so I've just taken that straight across, and that works very well for me. This is a Ashley Isles one. It's a handy tool. I use it a lot, but can't remember how long I've had it now, but many years.
Now, Lucy made an interesting comment. She said they have a mixture of traditional and carbide. Yeah, the one on your left, the oval skew, is the one that I prefer.
Yeah.
On your left, Ruby.
I have multiple skews, but I keep this angle pretty much the same on all of them, the skew angle. And that just means that when I pick the tool up and put it to the lathe, obviously I won't be using it on a bowl blank piece.
You automatically put it to where you're used to, don't you?
Right. Muscle.
When I'm coming across, turn that way. When I'm across, the handle is in the same place. So I change skew. It's the same for all of them because they're all the same, pretty much. The angle of, change back again. The angle of the bevel, that varies. On this one, which is a very thick, heavy-duty skew, that's 20 degrees. On this one, which is a much finer tool, is 15 degrees.
Yeah. But the angle in the other direction is about 70 degrees.
Yeah.
On the side.
I don't have, a lot of people will have this bevel angle at 25 degrees. I don't actually have any of those here. I don't use them at 25 degrees, so can't show you one. But I mean, there's not a great deal of difference. But that 5 degrees.
There's a subtle difference when you come to use them.
Gives you, well, more than a subtle difference, I think.
Mm.
I always say that the 25 degrees is like driving a bus. Steering is very slow, but it's moderately stable. 20 degrees is like your family hatchback. It's goes around corners really well, and it's quite easy to steer.
Yes.
And your 15 degrees is like a Ferrari. It goes around corners like beautifully, but it also comes off the edge of the track quite quickly as well.
Yeah, I drive a Ferrari, by the way. It's brilliant when it's working, but when it's not, my God.
Exactly.
You go back to the bus.
But obviously I can't demonstrate them on this piece because this is a bowl blank, and skews and bowl blanks don't go together. Where was I? So yeah, when I bought this lathe, I got these bent tool rests with the lathe, and I've had bent tool rests in the past and never got on with them, but these I actually quite like. So we'll play with it on this.
Alan Gibbs in. Hello, Alan.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, Alan. Now, if you don't mind, I'll go back to the comment Lucy made about traditional tools and carbide tools.
Yeah.
In actual fact, traditional tools are scrapers. And it wasn't until the early 1900s that gouges, as we know, came into being. And carbides are scrapers. So what we're calling today traditional tools are in fact the newer tools.
Yeah, I mean, I use scrapers. I got a lot of scrapers. You know, just ones I grind up or whatever for doing boxes and things.
Well, if you ever go back and look at some of the old tools that were used in the 1600s and the 1700s, like for example, when they did a finial for a chair top, they had a piece of metal that already had that finial shape, and they literally just pushed it
in.
to the wood.
That's it. Yep.
And those were traditional tools.
Just like beading tools and things.
I don't know if Wayne's in the chat, but he'll tell you that traditional tools are made of flint.
Well, I remember those days. They were very hard to sharpen.
Yeah, I mean,
I've got some tools I reckon they date back to the 1700s.
I don't knock carbides. I don't know how to use carbides because I've not used a decent set. I've used a poor set and they were poor.
You just have to sharpen.
I can't judge it on that because you can't judge a poor set of one type of tool against a good set of another type of tool and make a valid judgment on it. But
right.
The easy wood tools are super sharp,
especially the newer ones.
Yes.
Yeah, and things have evolved. I mean, when they started with carbides, they were straight off the metalworking lathes and they were flat carbide tools for scraping. They're not anymore.
Yeah,
they've evolved.
Some have negative rakes now.
Yeah, you've got negative rakes, you've got cupped, you've got all sorts coming on, which are designed around woodwork.
No, in fact, negative rakes were used back in the 1700s.
Yes.
That concept is not new as well.
Not new. It originally started off in the ivory trade, I believe. And carving ivory was commonly used negative rake.
Yeah, ivory, bone, ebony, any of your really dense hardwoods were all done with scrapers. And to this day, they all cut better with a scraper than with a regular tool.
Yeah. Douglas Mungham's in, and Woodworm Paul is in.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Douglas.
Hey, Paul, Douglas.
Yeah, I got no problem with using a scraper when I needed to, but I don't own any carbide tools except the cut carbide tool for hollowing.
Well, the big thing I think is people just have to understand that different tools are designed for different things.
Exactly.
Use whatever you're comfortable using.
Yeah, and whatever works.
The only thing that bothers me about people learning on carbides is that quite often they aren't taught how to cut with grain direction. And you see them going both directions.
And they just rip the timber off.
Yep.
Nearly get tear out. And they can get so comfortable using the carbides because they are easy to use. They wouldn't dare try a bow gouge or a spindle gouge.
Yeah. You see, if the thing too, when people are starting off turning, a lathe can be an expensive piece of equipment, and you buy a few tools, and it's a sharpening system can also be the deciding factor on what tools people start off with. So sometimes it's just easier to buy carbides.
Yeah, I've said it before. If somebody asks me what sort of lathe should I get, I said you shouldn't. You should buy a sharpening system first.
Yeah,
whatever you've got left, buy a lathe.
Yeah,
because you need to be able to sharpen things because they don't last.
Pre-COVID lockdowns times, I used to do a 4-hour intro session in my workshop, where somebody who was thinking of getting into wood turning could come in, and we would run through tools and sharpening systems and lathes and what sort of things that they wanted to cut, so they could actually make a decision on what sort of lathe to buy. I haven't really done them since lockdown. I just stopped and haven't started again. But there's a lot more to wood turning than what lathe.
You mean
Somebody
like
on Facebook the other day posted about they wanted to get into wood turning, and they specifically said they want to make bats. The trouble with that is, as soon as you say you want to make bats, you're not talking about a starter lathe. You're talking about at least a MIDI, and probably bigger than that.
Yeah.
So
Good
your
Yeah.
starting lathe goes up in price. But it is always important to know what you want to cut. And although I learnt with traditional tools, as they're called, I've got scrapers. I rarely use them. I don't hold anything against people that use carbides, and I think for people beginning, they're quite a good way to start, because you avoid that sharpening system that you've got to buy. You avoid that skill of learning how to sharpen. But at the same time, once you've bought that and mastered the skill, then I think you're better off.
Douglas Mungham's got a question. He says, Terry said, what's the best? Missed it now. So it's gone on by. Hang on, I'll just rewind it.
So Terry, what make is best for drilling 1 1/4 inch steel?
What make is best? 1 1/4 inch steel. 1/4 inch diameter. I'll take it. You mean the drill bits? I mean, if you're drilling something like that, you'll need a pillar drill, proper engineering pillar drill, I should think, if you're going that deep. And I would get engineering bits. Get a decent engineering drill from a company. Don't buy anything that's going to cost you £2.50. Probably find a
buy
drill
a decent drill and keep it cool.
£10-15, and keep it cool all the time by pouring oil over it, or well, not water, but you can get this liquid. It's like milk. It looks like milk, and you pour that in gradually, and or drip it onto it, and just gently push the drill through. Cut it like butter.
and don't use really high speed.
No, slow speed. Well, 1/4 inch, you could go a little bit quicker because it's not a very big diameter, but don't go really fast with it. 500
Yeah, if
600 revs.
everything turns cherry red, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble, yeah.
Yeah.
It welds itself together then. But buy a decent engineering bit, a drill. You'll find it'll last longer. Less time sharpening it. Less amount of times, and it'll cut like butter.
And the other thing is, my bench drill, or pillar drill, it's never had the pulleys moved. But if you're going to do that much metal, then move them to a slower speed.
Yeah. Yeah, don't start drilling at 1500 revs or something, because that's just going to wear the drill out quicker.
It's a bit fast, yeah.
400 or 500 at the most. Just gently get it started, and keep it lubricated. Gentle pressure on it. Keep the same pressure on it, and it'll just go through it easily.
It's not quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's, as you can see, it's into the foot here. So
If you come in a little further on the foot, you'll lose about half of
yeah, I could go a little smaller on the foot, and I could
Maybe lose a bit more.
and if I keep the wall a little bit thicker, then I could probably get away without a hole.
Oh no, just a little bit of a hole.
I might put a wire brush over that and see if I can make that look reasonable. I might try and keep it. Make the foot a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Well, that was about a 12-inch diameter to start, right?
Yeah.
So you only need about a 4-inch foot,
Yeah.
because usually a foot should be about a third of the diameter of the top.
You could get away with a 3-inch foot and cut it in even more.
No, a 3-inch foot on a 12-inch is no good. It just looks
It doesn't look right,
it
balanced.
looks out of proportion.
Yeah, but that's what you want. You want to make it look different so that people think, oh, that's different.
No, I like my bowls like my women, well proportioned.
So Terry, will Doom Bar lubricate the drill bit?
Oh yeah.
No, it won't. You got to drink the Doom Bar. If you don't waste Doom Bar, pint of milk. Just chuck a pint of milk on it. You know, make sure it's full fat milk, and then the fat will help lubricate it. So buy a 4-pint milk thing and just drizzle that on for a fun a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go down a bit smaller.
Yeah, just a pip.
Actually, what I should do, don't stop with your hammer, it's got a hole in it.
Get a pencil measure here.
I always advocate when you're sort of coming up with a design or a shape, give yourself a pencil line to work from. You get to see what you're doing. There's people like me that don't have the artistic flair to just sort of carve things away and come up with perfection. I have to sort of visualize it properly.
Now, what kind of depth are you looking at there?
4.5, I should imagine, by the time you take them.
Yeah, it's about 4.5 by the time I cleaned up the top.
That's a pretty deep bowl.
Cheers,
Yeah,
You could probably take the foot down so that you're looking more at 4 inches, which would still be a respectable size bowl. And it would get rid of even more of that opening.
but I could funnel it. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Oh dear, Ben's in an American mood this evening, so he's
Oh, he's
having
having
donuts and
donuts.
coffee.
Good on you,
Yeah.
Ben.
Just using a little shear cut there just to get my shape from the base up to the top.
Mhm.
Don't want to take too much more off of the rim. I think we're about there. Let's see what that does with that hole. I like the way this lathe stops. It's brilliant.
Mhm.
Look.
Yeah, that does. If I leave that in a wall,
Half inch.
about a 1/2 inch, then I shall keep that. But let's get a wire brush on that and see what's. I've got quite a lot of glue on there at the moment because that's where the cracks are. See what we've got there.
You could then colour it, Pete. Maybe just swear.
William, did you hear a swear word then?
I did. It was a pretty big one as well.
It certainly was. With what's going on in that wood, I wouldn't be coloring it.
Oh.
Just to drop one in there, you know.
We have a term for people like you know. And
Something
the
stirrer.
The second half of it is a stirrer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't show on that camera.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, there's good, Pete. Yeah.
Good. That's good.
No, I was trying to show.
Well,
No, that hasn't
better
got it
the
either.
other. First one's better. We can see the.
I was trying to show this, but you can't really see it from that angle.
All right.
This is the indexing system on here. You've got a wheel underneath the plastic cover with holes in it, and you just put your locking pin in, and you've got your indexing points.
Cool.
Because I'm using the indexing, I've actually turned the lathe off because Got this nasty habit of turning the lathe on with a pin in otherwise.
Not a good
Yeah.
idea.
No.
Can be expensive.
Yeah. Choose the belts up quick.
Now, if I had
Thank
one
you.
of Rob's flap
Mr.
wheels,
Jones.
which I intend to get at Harrogate, so you better have them there, Rob, then
Use a flap.
I would be using that. If Rob's still in the chat.
Don't know. Maybe. He hasn't said anything lately. So. Somebody, I don't know if it's Rob or somebody else, said they was watching the rugby and watching you on the phone. I thought that was damned indecent of them. They should have had it the other way around. Had the rugby on the phone. I don't think that
Yeah,
was.
how can they read the chat properly on a phone? That's no good.
Yes, yeah, no.
Hmm.
Just scrolling back to see if I can find it, but whoever it was. But I said I'm watching the rugby on the TV or on the computer and watching you on the phone, so can't say too much.
But there's all these
I'm going
people in the
back.
chat that want to talk to you, and you're watching the rugby. That's not good, is it?
Hmm. Oh, it was Mike Evans. Having to watch Pete on my phone. Wales is playing rugby on the TV at 20 mile an hour. I said that to Ruth the other day. I said, you know, the speed limit is now down to 20 mile an hour, Ruth. I said, we won't be going, you know, I said that, you know, you take 15 hours to go across Wales now. She said, we're not going to Wales anymore then. Ruth can't do 15 mile an hour when she's in bed. She's got to be 30, turning over and turning, you know, she's got a 15 mile an hour. God, blimey. She never get it in reverse.
That is pretty slow. You could probably get out and jog alongside.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, they do say
Speed
that
limit in Wales now 20.
it's for safety, but if they want to be really safety aware,
Stop
what they
people
need to
driving.
do is get a man to walk in front of the cars with a red flag.
Yeah.
Done that before, haven't we?
That's it. Yeah. Shane Hurst is in. Hi, Shane.
Hi, Shane.
Doesn't really show on the camera, but I've got some nice shape here from under the bark. I'm just going to try and preserve that. So there'll be a bit of hand sanding on that bit. Meanwhile, Terry, start doing your song and dance routine because I'm going to do some sanding, which is boring.
No, I don't do song and dance. I'm a bow like a chicken, I'm an upbeat hen. Never been said. Oh, when I walk with a wiggle and a giggle and a squawk, doing the Tennessee wing walk. Remember that one, Lucy? Ruby?
That goes back a long ways ago.
I used to do that on stage with the, I can't remember what the girl was called now. We in a pantomime. We had to do that. Well, I used to do pantomimes years ago. Good fun it was. Yeah.
Sounds like you had an interesting youth.
I had a wonderful youth. In fact, when I met Ruth, being a nurse, you know, like they are, she was living in the nurses' home. And I met her in a club, you know. And I asked her if she wanted to go out. She said, yeah, pick me up at the nurses' home Saturday night, 7 o'clock. I'm thinking, get on. Hey, nurses' home, you know, no mum and dad around, all that sort of thing. Yeah, I'll be there, 7 o'clock. She said, I'll be in the hall. In the hall? I thought, yeah, she said, I'll be in the hall. You can't miss it. It's a big hall. All the lights will be on. So I'll turn up, 7 o'clock. Knocks on the hall door, you know. This door opens and this half-naked woman comes out, girl comes out in costumes. So I said, I'm looking for Ruth. Oh, yeah, she said you'd be calling. You, Terry, yeah. Come in. And on the stage was Ruth and 6 others in brown pants doing the Dance of the Seven Veils with these veils hanging off their, you know, chiffon scarves hanging out of their pants and bras. And I thought, wow, that's not bad for first night out, is it? And then with that, this bloke comes up and thrusts this book in my hand and said, you're playing Prince Hassan there's your words. Start learning. And I said, no, wrong, mate. I said, I've come to pick up Ruth. We're going out for a drink. You know, I'm taking her for a drink. Yeah, she knows. Yeah, you are. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, after rehearsals. So this was like 7 o'clock. Rehearsals finished about 10. Yeah. I ended up doing 20 years of pantomimes and shows and plays and comedy. You get it. You know, you get the message.
Good on you.
Unbelievable.
That's
Put
good.
it, Ruth.
And you're still doing them.
Well, I'm still doing them. Yeah, we did make thousands of mine for the hospital, so that was good. Yeah, like that. But then my father came one day. You know, I had to sing "Love Me Tender" by Elvis Presley. You know, solo on stage, just me. And
Terry had a very interesting youth.
This guy,
Amazing. He didn't get arrested too often.
Yeah, this musical
Amazingly,
director
yeah.
said, you gotta sing this "Love Me Tender" by Elvis Presley. Anyway, I sang this song, and I hear my father say, "I never knew Terry could sing." My mother said, "Yeah, Terry can do anything.
He's invincible.
He's invincible." Yeah, my mother stood up for me. Yeah, Terry can do anything. She said, "You know, I was only in my 20s, early 20s. Brilliant." It was.
Well, I have to be careful because if I sing the radio with
I remember we did a play once called Move Over Mrs. Markham. It was an absolute screech of a comedy, comedy play. And the stage was divided into 2 rooms, the lounge and the bedroom. The audience could see both, of course, the door between. And I was, I can't remember what part I was playing there, but the maid and I had to get it. We were having an affair, see. Mrs. Markham there was somebody in the lounge doing their bit, and Mrs. Markham came in, and I had to get in. We were in bed together. We had to get in bed together and take our clothes off, take our underwear off and throw it down the bed, you see. And then we got, obviously, the next thing you get caught, you see. She comes in and she's looking for this maid because she owned the big house, It was a scream, and I was in bed with this girl who must have been, I don't know, 48 double D type of thing. And at the end, we used to get out. She used to grab one of the bed things, and I used to put the other bed clothes in. We'd walk off back, grab our underwear, walk round the back, and go around the back of the stage, and then she'd dress and I'd get dressed, and then I had to do her bra up because she was such a big girl, and we didn't have time, you see. So the director just said, "Well, just do her bra up. Don't be just silly and get on with it." So I had to do her bra up, and then I'd come out, as if nothing had happened. I walked through the door into the lounge, nothing had happened, and then she would come out in her bra and pants and fling her arms out and say, "Well, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting involved with this cleaning business anymore." Walk right out and right past and downstage and all. And that was the scene, and everybody would laugh. And Mrs. Markham would be sort of, gobsmacked. And one day we did this, of course. This is on the Friday night. My parents are sitting in the bloody front row as well. And the timing had to be just right. And we just got like 4 seconds slow for some reason. Somebody got caught in the bedclothes or something, because she didn't want to expose herself or me on the stage. So, and it took like another 3 or 4 seconds. So I had 3 or 4 seconds less to put her bra back on and me get out the door. So I just clicked it up on one hook instead of the usual, I don't know, 2 or 3 or whatever
7.
it was. It's 7 for her, yeah. Anyway, of course, I goes out and she walks out and she flings her arms open and says, "I'm not standing for this." And as she did that, her bra came off and shot across the stage, and then my father straight in the face.
Oh dear.
He's only about 10 feet away, like, what? I hit him in the face. And she didn't bat an eyelid, this girl, and she just carried on and walked out the door as if, nothing had happened. And there's a pair of breasts flying around everywhere. And we just carried on with the show, And everybody thought that was supposed to be, everybody thought that was how it was done. But,
It was planned.
It was unbelievable. They never stopped. We had to stop the show for about 5 minutes. They never stopped laughing. It was brilliant.
That was pretty risque for that time period.
It was, yeah. This was going back in the, 80s. Yeah. Good fun though. We had a laugh. I got to go to bed with this girl every night. She one of Ruth's best friends. It was. Yeah. Things scream we had. But the timing was like, like these farces. The timing's got to be so correct, or else it goes horribly wrong. And I just had like 1 second in order to keep up. I just done one hook up. I said that'll do. Quick, and I got out then. She flung her arms around this brow, went whoosh, wallop straight in my father's face. Hello.
Classic.
Classic.
My first wife was also a student nurse, and when we were courting, she was in the nurses' home, nurses' accommodation, whatever they call it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, nurse home.
But it was much lower class. They did the dance of the 7 Army blankets, no veils involved.
Know what you mean, Pete? I remember we had to be out by 11 o'clock. It was boys could go in there. The boyfriends could go in, no problem. With the girls and that, and chat and all the rest of it, and have cups of coffee and yeah. But you had to be out. The nursing home was closed at 11 o'clock in the evening. And Ruth used to live on the top floor of this place, so I had to be out by 10 to 11 because it was like walk along the corridor, down the lift, or 5 flights of stairs and get out, because there was a matron down the bottom who was, real strict. Not strict on us. I mean, they'd be strict on the nurses. They would suffer, and could even get thrown out of the nurses' home. Of course, one
We
day,
had to be out by a certain time.
yeah.
If the
Anyway,
nurses
one
were
day,
out past the curfew time, they locked
Yeah.
the doors.
yeah, I had a real bad time. Anyway, all of a sudden there's a bang on the door, and you could hear her coming along the corridor. Bang, 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 bang. Over this door, over this door. They just search all the doors. 4 or 5 different levels, and they'd be banging on the doors, and the girls would open their doors and they'd go in checks, nobody in there. And I thought, shit, I'm going to get caught now. Ruth's going to be in trouble, real trouble. So she said, quick, out the window. I said, can I get out the window? Yes, there's a big ledge out there. She said, get out the window. So I'm standing on the ledge, right, outside there.
4
She shut
stories
the
up.
window down, pulled the curtain, shut the window down. I'm not saying what I had on. And she shut the window down, and she opened the door, let this nurse in, this sister in, and she undid around. Yeah, no, okay, slam, door slam, opens the door, gets back in, and they did the rounds, up to the end, and you hear him walking back down, click, 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 walking down the stairs type of thing, out of the way. So I said, right, I got, and you can't get out because the thing was all somebody at the door all night. Then see, make sure nobody got in. So she said, well, go out the fire escape. At the end of this corridor, there's a fire escape, out the window and down the fire escape. Of course, I out the window, down the fire escape, and I get the second level down. I got 2 levels to go, and it's just like being in a concentration camp. Bang! This bloody great arc lights up. Bang! Straight on me. Like, I'm expecting to get shot any minute. And I think, Christ. And this voice says, where do you think you're going? I said, I'm going home. Which room have you come from? I said, all of them. And ran like hell.
All of them.
All of them. Apparently, they were knocking on the door saying, who's just let a chap out and all that shit. It was only about 20 past 11, I just got caught in there. Hello, evening. Good evening to Old Man River. He's just joined us.
Good evening.
Well, Ben has indicated that listening to you makes him realize he's led a boring life.
Andy says, looks like Terry surprised you didn't learn how to pick locks. Andy, I can pick a lock, any lock you like.
Yeah, picking the lock was
Guaranteed.
okay. You had to get down
That's
past
easy.
the porters and the matron that were guarding.
Yeah, that's the one you had to get by. Yeah, you had to get by the matron. She was all right. She had one of these beehive hairstyles, like stood about 2 feet above her head.
Mean as hell.
Oh, mean as hell. Yeah. And Ruth used to work night shift.
Right, I'm just going to go for my Buckwood maple syrup.
Is that any good?
Oh,
Well,
brilliant.
of course. There's no such thing as bad maple syrup.
Don't know. Don't eat maple syrup.
I don't know if that shows on the camera, but that's my bit under the bark.
It shows up quite nicely. It's got a lot of color.
Nice
in
texture
all
to
the-
it. Unfortunately, it's also got the splits through it, but we'll deal with that.
Now the prop says he still has the key to a nurse's home from the 80s.
Yeah.
It makes a great memento.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I think, give Rob, keep it, mate. Actually, you want to go back and try it? Oh, probably the nurse home's gone there.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, the nurse home's gone a long time ago. They knocked the whole hospital down, actually, where Ruth used to be. It's all housing estate now. That's all gone. They built one
Kim's,
big hospital.
Kim's old nursing home is now a 5-star hotel.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
they
was a
built
glorious
a
building
huge,
in glorious grounds.
Victorian
It was
buildings.
all
as
done
well.
up into dorm rooms, so it wasn't particularly nice inside, although the public areas were nice. But
Well-
they gutted it and rebuilt it into a 5-star hotel, and it's very nice.
Speaking of very nice, that's a gorgeous looking piece of wood.
Lovely.
It is,
It
yeah.
is nice,
It's
isn't it?
lovely. I was drinking that.
Pity you're going to have to paint it.
Yeah, it's quite
Really
thirsty.
dry.
Could be another tub of that, Pete. Another bottle.
Yeah, you could
We're
call
definitely going
it.
to burn it afterwards, so it doesn't really matter that much.
Don't put too much on them. It might be, actually, it might turn out good that you don't have to burn it.
I know, you won't burn this, Pete.
We'll decide later.
No, definitely don't.
I haven't messed up the inside yet. Might go through the bottom yet.
I know.
Well, there's that. There's
There
one
is
side.
something.
Well, the side it won't matter because you've got an excuse. You go, you. But yeah, could go through the bottom. Oh, you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's lightly spalted, but it's quite nice.
Beach throws up some beautiful pieces.
Yeah, I wish we could get it more often here. It's very rare to find a piece here.
Yeah, but you'll get other exotic woods, don't you? That are really nice and we can't get.
Yeah, we don't get.
Like what?
Oh, I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know.
Bird's eye
Yeah.
maple.
Yeah, your walnut. is
Yeah,
stunning
maple,
as well.
bird's eye maple. That's nice for a start.
Yeah, we don't see that often either.
Oh,
We get it here quite frequently, but by the time it comes to England, it's always 1 inch thick planks.
hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the trouble.
unfortunately, it's the same here.
But
If you can
Does
get a
look
nice
nice.
maple burl, then you've got something to work with.
Hmm.
Then
use
yeah,
it
I've seen Lewis cut some bird's eye maple, and it seems to cut beautifully, and it looks wonderful. So I'm quite envious of that one. But
well, you do realize that Lewis and I live a few thousand miles apart,
yeah,
and the trees
there's a
he gets are a
bit of a
little
distance
different
between
from
you.
mine. Yeah,
yeah, but I mean, Lewis's drive is 100 miles long, so
Yeah.
true.
Werberg Learner's asking, Pete, is there any soft spots or is it nice?
no soft spots. But they've got 1,
What's the
2, 3
cracks?
big splits here,
Hmm.
and there's one here, another one here. So the cracks are going to be the downfall of this piece.
You wouldn't consider filling them?
They are filled with sawdust and superglue at the moment, but I might dig that out and do something better.
If you're keeping it.
Sounds, depends on whether I want to keep it or not.
Yes, Alan, the hospitals would be better if they still had the matrons there. Well, proper matrons, as in the old days.
That'd be better over here too.
They run a tight ship, the matrons.
Of course, most of the hospitals back then were all run by the churches.
Yeah. Well, not in your day, not in
I
mine.
use some abrasive
Yeah,
paste
my
on
day.
this. Yeah, True Grit. Abrasive paste on a piece like this with the splits in it can be a problem.
Yeah.
It gets stuck in the splits and be a pain in the ass to sorry, a pain in the backside to remove.
Back in the back.
Pain
We
in the
knew
butt.
what you meant.
We know what you meant. Yeah.
I
You meant
can say
pain in the
that.
ass.
She's
That's what you
slapping
meant.
in the cock, innit? So,
Yeah, you
just
meant
somewhere.
pain in the ass. It's after 9 o'clock in Australia. Don't worry about it.
I'm sure you all know this. Abrasive paste. It starts off with a pumice type grit, not always pumice, but a pumice type in pretty much all of them. And that shatters and breaks down. So you start off at about the equivalent of a 320 grit abrasive, and it shatters and breaks down to about the equivalent of about 1,000 or thereabouts. It's not an exact science, but I'm sure the scientists amongst us will say yes, it is. We get the formulas right.
Ben Jammy says, no need, don't worry about swearing, Pete. Terry said breasts earlier.
I know Terry also said about colour earlier.
And colour, yeah.
Oh,
No, no, Ben.
As the prof points out, whatever you call it, we all got one.
We all got one. Most of them are sitting on it now. He may not be, but I think I should go on holiday more often. I don't mind watching Pete.
Pete's doing a super job, you think?
He is, isn't he? Yeah, lovely job. I should do it every week, and I'll just stand in when he goes on holiday. That's the answer.
Terry,
Get stuffed.
Oh, I was waiting
I'm
for
not
that.
allowed to say what's in my head at that comment. Terry.
That's why I said it.
I don't think you need to translate for us.
Just the word Terry was enough.
I was surprised to see you in the as earworming, Terry.
Yeah, well, they're my sister-in-laws, and she's got internet, so you know.
Well,
They've all gone out. They've gone out to play to the Theatre Royal tonight to see my son in a show. He's singing about 12 songs in this show they're doing for
So
100th anniversary of the Theatre Royal, and he's gone down with COVID, so they're not going to see him now. Well, the understudy got to do it.
we couldn't get Brian in because he's currently digging out the mud trying to recover his welly from Cork.
Yeah, Brian is stuck in a field somewhere. in the
He's stuck in
south
the
of
field,
Ireland,
yeah, he's sunk up to his knees.
down to the axles. Poor thing.
Roy's a
You
boy
may
saying
ride- you may
question.
ride a horse on.
William Hen, are you doing alive?
Oh,
No. Come on,
That's
about
the
time you did.
million-dollar
You're doing enough
question.
videos.
It's
I've
a
no
different
no
thing doing a
cameras.
life.
I've no internet.
It's a very different thing doing a life.
Yeah.
So what are you doing here then if you know internet?
Oh yeah.
Well, he's using
Yeah.
carrier pigeons like I do.
Failed that test.
I still have dial-up. You remember that?
Yeah, don't have her.
Yes.
In fact, Brian was on dial-up until recently, wasn't he?
Yes.
And getting his new internet was quite an experience.
It was a total different change.
Yeah. It frustrated him so much.
So I should have kept that going for about 2.5. Actually, on a bowl this size, probably about 3.5 minutes to get the best of it. But we rush things a bit on these lives, so 1.5, 2 minutes is plenty enough time to watch that happen.
Are you going to use the microcrystalline next?
Then speed the lathe up a bit and knock it all off again and remove it.
Now, are you going to come back with the finer grit afterwards?
Sorry, I missed that. I was making too much noise. What was that?
Are you coming back with the finer grit afterwards?
No.
Okay.
If I was doing something like you or something really hard or resin, then I would use a microfine.
Resin?
On
Swearing again.
Not only
Is it?
that, resin's got color.
If the grain is slightly open, like it, beech is quite a soft hardwood, really. The grain is fairly open on it. Then I don't see the point in going to a 2000 grit equivalent.
I think that's going to be a gorgeous piece.
And you're talking to a guy who normally does spindle work, and
Hmm.
if I sand beyond 180, that's very rare.
I remember the first time I was working in a wood mill and turned a spindle. It was a newel post, and I sanded it to about 600. And the boss came in and he looked at it and he said, "That looks lovely." He said, "But I can't sell it." And I said,
Yep.
"What's wrong with it?"
Paintball stick.
You're not allowed to sand above 120.
Yeah.
Because if they want to stain it or paint it or even put a finish on it,
Yeah.
it won't take. So I had to go back on this piece and
Rough it
Beautiful
up.
piece and sand it rough. Yeah.
sand it rough, yes.
Shame.
But I learned my lesson.
Yeah, I mean, it's all horses for courses. We've got this sort of obsession with things being flat and shiny,
Pristine.
which sometimes works, not always.
What finish you going to put on the outside, Pete?
I'm
We
going
just
to put
gonna leave it
hamster
like that.
sheen.
Good.
Now, what's that you're using, Pete?
Just a polishing mop, just to work that bit where it's where the bark was, where I can't get in with the standard lathe turning.
Yeah, the tissue is bouncing off it.
Yeah. I'm probably going to go with a finish I'm using a lot recently. It's hamster sheen, my go-to wax on the outside, and then an oil finish on the inside. The reason I'm doing that quite a lot is I'm doing a number of utility bowls. So there'll be fruit bowls or salad bowls or whatever. And an oil finish is combination of food safe and easy maintenance for non-turners.
Mhm.
But I don't sell stuff to turners. All the turners look at my stuff and say, "You're not buying that."
I don't even give them the opportunity to have a look at it.
But no, I mean, I do the same. I look at other turners' work and I want a photograph of it so I can go and make it myself. I don't tend to buy
Yeah.
from other turners very often.
There you
I'm
go.
a terrible customer. But,
Photograph it. Yeah.
it's same as I see something online or in a book or whatever. One of the best things for turning for me, if I'm not actually still at the lathe, is figuring out how to mount pieces.
True.
I look at a piece of ceramic or something and figure out how I'm going to put that in the lathe to get that shape. I enjoy doing that because I'm weird.
It's
No,
called
I
an
think-
anorak.
I think that's part of the fascination with turning, is learning how to do things and figuring things out.
Every day is a school day with wood turning.
True.
No, I don't do school days anymore.
When you've been at school for 50 years, it's a bit boring.
I'm told that you can't drink Doom Bar on the night before a school day, so I don't do school days anymore.
Oh,
Never heard that, Pete. You must have gone to a different school than me. Mine was approved.
you mean they insisted on it, didn't you?
Sister shit. I wanted to go to an old girls' school, but my mother wouldn't send me there.
My school was 15 miles from where I lived. So to get on a coach every morning, I had to walk 2 miles to get to the coach.
Blimey.
And then there was a 15-mile coach journey.
My school was less than 15 minutes walk. And I'd say now, Anna, I've never, ever in my life eaten a school dinner.
I can't say I've ever eaten a school dinner.
No, always used to walk home for lunch. Have my lunch. Mother would cook me lunch and then walk back.
The only trouble I had is if I wanted to skive off school for the day, I had a choice of either walking 15 miles to get home or turning up at the car park at the end of the school day to catch the coach, which
Without getting
quite often
caught.
got you busted.
Without getting caught by somebody.
Exactly. You haven't been here all day, Ravenscroft. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing here?
And a clip round the ear hole as well.
Yeah, that's it. On special assignment, sir.
I do.
God bless you.
Bless you.
Wurzel said he got sent to a boarding school. He had no choice. Government boarding school. That's bad luck. Real bad luck.
That's a bummer, all right.
I don't remember there being any boarding schools anywhere near where I live.
No, the only boarding school I remember, it was Borstal. Or youth offending or something. Sender. Well, you stayed in for months if you did something wrong. I never got to go to there. Prison, basically, for youngsters.
Never got caught, is what you're saying, Terry.
Never got caught. I never got caught, yeah, I'm saying.
Your
Never did anything wrong, me.
Do your grandkids know what a wild man you were?
Yes, of course they do. They're all the same. A bit of deception never hurt. My kids went to school every day now. I very rarely miss a school day. In fact, to be honest, I very rarely miss a school day. I hated the place, but I never missed a day. Got a wallop from my father. I got home with missing a day school. So I didn't miss it. It's the better of two evils going to school.
Being a farm boy, I wear slightly torn morals on that because morals, whatever you call them. My father would give me a wallop for skiving off school if it was for my choice. If it was harvest time,
That's it, yeah.
I wouldn't let it go to
Yes.
school.
You weren't allowed to go to
Different
school
story
now.
Yeah, I can remember many a day throwing bales of hay around. It was always the hottest day of the year, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Mid-July and August.
Ours would come in June.
Right, okay.
Sometimes we would actually get 3 cuttings. It looks a little off balance, Pete.
Yeah, this is just a pip.
Yeah, the front is. I'll stop it in a minute and show you.
Chris Charlton's joined us, 10:33.
Hi, Chris.
I've got this step
Okay.
here, and I've got chainsaw marks here, so it's making it look
Yeah.
odd. As I
Yeah,
said,
but
I've
you-
got
Up the
this
face.
front back probably 1/3 of an inch.
Looking down on the top, though, it looks pretty balanced. Like
Yeah,
it's running
Back
straight.
of it's okay. It's only
Okay.
the front because of this damaged bit.
Roger Kent's in. Roger.
Hey, Roger.
Hi,
I like that
Roger.
curved rest.
Yes, they work quite well. They take a bit to get used to.
I'd like the internal one as well.
Have we got yeah, I've got that, but I'll start with a flat because I need to get this front flat first. Have We got Paul Finley and Doug Miller in.
They're
Yeah.
both in. Well, I'm
Yep.
seen Paul for a while, but he was there.
He was in
He's-
earlier.
Doug Miller's in,
We're on
yeah.
tomorrow
He's-
lunchtime, and is Doug on Tuesday evening? I think Brian's on Monday evening, but he's not here to confirm that either way. But I think he is. If he gets his welly back, he'll be on.
Yeah. But Doug's just put a comment in, so he should be listening. You on tomorrow, Doug? Yep, Doug's on tomorrow.
Cool. Not tomorrow, Tuesday, Doug.
Tuesday, sorry. Tuesday.
I was gonna say, what day of the week are we on today?
So no, well, if it's Tuesday tomorrow, then I'll miss the ferry to France. Paul says yes, he's on as well.
Cool. We could send Terry on a link hunt. We could put the links in the chat.
I can't do it while I've got these two things up on my screen. I'll never get back to here again. William might be able to.
I can't do it either.
I don't think I'd have much success doing it either.
I'm
Although-
sure the guys posted up on their own.
Yeah, Doug and Paul could post theirs.
No, they can't because they haven't got a spanner.
Tool rate is too low. I fell off the bevel then.
Lift it up, man.
I recently had to take a file to the top of my tool rest. For some reason, it got some nicks in it.
Sharp edge tools instead of rounded off.
Not
Must
quite
have
there
been.
yet. Just another couple of mil, 16th of an inch.
Sometimes parting tools with the sharp edge sometimes can dig
Yeah.
into the tool rest.
Yeah. Well, any
I find the
square
door
edge.
sculptor.
Got it, innit?
Yeah, got it, Pete. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
Pencil line. Your no cut line.
Problem my lathe then. It went fast for some reason. And what that was.
That was a nice cut.
Chris from Bailey Woodworks is in. Chris.
Hi, Chris.
How you doing, Chris? Welcome along, buddy.
Right. Actually, I'm thinking probably about there.
Hmm. That shouldn't miss the sidewall.
Yeah, that's plenty enough for the side. It'll be thin there, but I should be able to avoid a hole. And this is very, very dry, so having different wall thickness doesn't bother me in the least. And I'm going to burn it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, true. I reckon you should turn that down to a toothpick.
It'll be nice with that black.
Actually, I was going to
line.
do that. I was going to show that nice big piece of wood and then say, and this is the blank I got, and turn a toothpick.
Yeah. Wurzel says he had a good result today. His missus sold a couple of bowls at the local fair, craft fair today, that she and two of her friends went to. Obviously, two of her friends liked them.
That's good. Always good to sell a few balls.
Chris says he's just finished buttoning up the backyard for fall. So I take it gets cold there or whatever. And I'm exhausted, too exhausted to turn, almost too exhausted to watch. We'll wake you up when it's finished, Chris.
Sit down and put the feet up.
I'll make sure that all the cuts are nice and relaxing to watch and don't strain your back in any way whatsoever. How's that sound? Because I'm going for a thick wall, I'm not worrying about leaving a centre mass here. So hollowing it in a different way.
Just enjoy cutting it, don't you? Chris says he lives in Ohio, so it gets pretty cold fast from here on in. When's it get cold where you are, Ruby? Oh yeah, obviously the nice smooth cuts of Ruby to sleep as well. She's not answering. Ruby out?
Yep, I'm back.
I am back. Right, okay.
I didn't realize I was muted.
Yeah. Chris is saying he lives in Ohio and it gets pretty cold pretty quick from here on in. When does it get cold for you?
Actually, it's starting tomorrow. We're going back down into the cooler temperatures, but for the last few weeks, some of the trees here have already been changing color.
Okay.
I think they're forecasting an early winter this year, which is fine by me. Get rid of the heat.
Yeah, you like the cold, don't you?
Yep. I like snow. One thing I really like about turning is when you make a really nice smooth cut and it just flows, you just get a feel of satisfaction that's wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, like that too.
I love turning balls.
I like turning anything. I have to think of what to turn.
I think I'd agree with Terry. Spindles can be fun too.
Yeah, I love them. I've got a big piece to turn. My friend Terry gave me a piece of Sequoia. I think I haven't measured it, but I think it's 20 inches diameter.
Nice.
And he wants to see what it turns because he's got two pieces, and he's just not long got a an Axminster 508 lathe. So when I come back
Ah.
from my holy days, I shall turn that. So you can see how it turns. So that's a long, big piece to turn. So it'll take a while.
I've got 3 very big pieces outside the workshop at the moment to test this lathe. Really, they're it's about 36-inch diameter by the time I've cut them up.
Oh,
They
that'll be
won't be
nice.
that big when I put them on the lathe. One of them is going to be maximum over the bed. I want to core it, and then I will drop the tail, the extension down to its lower points, and do one at about 32, 33 inch.
That'll be nice.
Just for fun.
I don't think it'd be done on a live, though, do you? Like maybe 2 or 3 lives.
Now, Rob made a comment that he thinks our snow is probably proper snow, not like our brown sludge.
Brown sludge, yeah.
Unfortunately, years ago, we would get a proper snow, like we get a 4 or 2 feet overnight. But nowadays, with global warming, we don't get the proper snow that we used to get.
No,
Which is unfortunate. Well, means I don't have quite as much to shovel either.
that's true. Dan Jammy says, why is it all turners want to turn big stuff? He's the opposite. Well, I quite like turning small stuff.
Yeah, I like a
Love it.
mix of both.
Yeah, turn anything. Like I said, everything's good to turn, no matter what it is.
It's all fun.
Depends on what you're turning.
This is the wrong tool to do that bottom. It's struggling on that that depth. I'm also going to change my tool rest whilst I'm changing things. I'll do one more cut of the top half of that.
You're gonna
With the 3/8 bowl gouge.
switch to a bottom feeder now?
Yeah. But, just do the top half with 3/8 bowl gouge just to get a nicer
Might
cut.
need to change the angle because we can only see your back. Change the angle of the camera, maybe side angle. That's
Yeah.
better.
Perfect,
Try
Pete.
that one.
Perfect.
That's perfect. That is, yeah.
Oh, the Glen Lucas 45 degree.
Is that what he uses?
That's one at Glenn's.
Sorry, did you ask a question there, Terry? It was getting noisy here.
No, I was just saying your Glen Lucas 45 degree.
Yep. It's the Glen Lucas 3/8.
Mhm.
I've been using the Glen Lucas 1/2 inch up till now, English sizes. So that'd be this one's a 1/2 inch and the other one's
It'd be
a 5/8
5/8.
in American size. So this is the other
Oh, that's the internal
Oh
one.
yeah.
internal bowl gauge tool
Oh,
rest.
that's-
Who makes that one?
It's a robust.
Robust. That's a nice piece of kit.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. So I've had the Axminster ones in the past, long time ago. In fact, I gave it to Then Steve Perkins is in the chat, but I gave it to him because I couldn't get on with it.
Oh, you have the Axminster one as well. And I used
He
it
was in
once and
earlier.
got rid.
Yeah, it just didn't get on with it. It just didn't work
No.
with me. It just, I don't know. It's just me and it didn't get on.
Yeah, that cold rolled steel on the top is very hard.
Yes. But these came with the lathe, and I'm using them quite a lot now because I'm getting on with them quite well. It's a bit high.
Rob, the professor, says he's struggling working right-handed because he's one of the elite lefties. I hope it's going to get easier. Well, why don't you just lock the chuck onto the spindle and turn backwards on the other side of the lathe?
Because it doesn't really
that?
solve the problem. At the end of the
You still
day,
turn
we have to learn
left-handed.
to turn left-handed for quite a few
Yeah.
cuts.
I can turn both hands.
That's it. You need to be ambidextrous, really. And Ruby is incredible. She can write with both hands at the same time.
I can write with both hands. It's easy.
So this is 50 degree, and it's just a short wing, and I've got the heel cut off of it, so that should give me better access to this depth, better control where I'm getting thin.
You are checking your depth periodically.
Oh.
I will do when I get there.
Oh, okay. You brought back a memory, Pete, of when I was teaching. I was writing on my blackboard, and one of the staff came in. He said, "I wish I could write as neat as that." He said, "But I'm not right-handed." And my whole class started to laugh because in mid-sentence, I just switched the chalk to the other hand and continued left-handed.
She didn't notice.
They had already learned that they couldn't use that as an excuse.
Brilliant.
I had a few days where I had the kids, if you were right-handed, you had to write left-handed. And if you were left-handed, you had to write right-handed.
That's it. That's the way.
You don't know what you can do until you try it.
You're correct, Ruby.
And if you're right-handed and you're holding a hot cup of coffee in your right hand and I throw you something, 99% of the time you can still catch it with your left hand. So that means that hand does work. So.
Well, I've never tried that, Chris. Chris says you hold a tool in each hand and then turn the inside and the outside at the same time. Never tried that.
No, I don't think I would either because my brain.
I don't think that's safe enough.
We did when we were up at Glenn's with that big bowl.
Yeah. Yeah,
We'd have the
he was on the inside, I was on the outside, or vice versa, wasn't
it? Two turners, one doing the inside of the bowl, one doing the outside.
36-inch diameter, and we were milling it away.
But that was on a VB36 lathe, so plenty of power.
It wouldn't stop regardless if you were going to have 10 turners on it. It wouldn't have stopped.
Well, Ben's not sure about that tool rest because it looks like you're miles away from the post. But that's a pretty solid tool rest, Ben.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
It's a hefty bit of steel, yeah.
And it's got stainless steel across the top of it. Welded right along. Not likely to break.
Or rust.
Now we're getting down there somewhere.
Now it amazes me how Pete keeps going without stopping to check and measure more often. I would have checked at least a dozen times by now.
No,
I'm having trouble with tool rest.
you just got to know. It's
I
in
mean,
your
just said
mind.
I quite
you
like
know?
it. I'm not liking it at all today.
Yeah.
I keep banging the back of the tool against this point. But I got about 7 inches left there, Ruby, I think.
Easy.
A little bit less than 7 inches. 6.5.
About an inch.
Yeah, about that. That's not the measurement that's been interesting to me. It's this one here.
Yeah, the side one where that inclusion is.
And I think I've still got quite a bit there, so we're good.
Have you got some calipers to check?
Yep. Yeah.
Quarter
we're good.
inch.
Yeah, it's about 5 inches there as well, Ruby. We're
Kinda
good.
do, yeah.
We can carry on cutting for ages yet.
I think you're getting the millimeters mixed up, Pete.
I was
It's all
thinking
the same
the
thing,
same thing. Oh,
Andy says, what about the S-shaped tool rest? I've actually got an S-shaped tool rest. It's quite good, really. It's thinner on one side than it is on the other S.
Yeah, I
So
have
you
the
can turn it
Actionis
around
one as
and
well.
it's like 1.5 inches wide on the thick bit, and then on the other S bit it's about 1/4 inch wide, so you can match it. Like,
I've got one, but I don't like them.
it weighs a ton.
I prefer one similar to what Pete's using.
I don't use it much, I must admit.
It's one of those impulse buys, isn't it?
Oh no, this came with an old Poolward lathe I had, and when I sold the lathe, I didn't sell that tool rest because it's a 30 millimeter tool post, so I just kept it to fit my new lathe.
Camera on my own, I have no idea.
That's it. Down, up, there. So,
Yeah, you can see this wood is extremely dry. Look.
yeah.
Little
Early
pig's tails are coming off us.
That means your tool's very sharp.
Well, it's all sharp, yeah, but the wood's also very dry. Didn't notice so much when I was doing the heavy cuts, but now I'm getting a bit finer. It's coming off in little curls.
But it is cutting nice. So.
I had a student last week and I introduced him to one of these bottom feeders. And he just couldn't believe the difference coming in across the bottom with that tool.
Yeah, this one gives you a good cut across the bottom. It's sort of a halfway between a bottom feeder and a standard gouge.
I've got a 60-degree one for the bottoms.
Yeah, I've got the 60 degree. I might break that out in a bit, but the 60 degree is more if you want to go down and flat across.
Yeah,
Right.
deeper.
Yeah. Because I'm keeping a fair bit of wall thickness here, I'm thinking I'm going to try and just keep a curve all the way around.
That is a gorgeous looking piece of wood.
Yeah, it is nice, isn't it?
It is nice, isn't it?
If you're thinking of putting it in the fire, just send it to me instead.
Yeah, but you got a big split that goes all the way through there, and
Yeah, but those
Big
can
split
be
there.
filled in and sanded.
We'll see. We'll see.
He'll keep it for you, Ruby, you know that.
Whoops,
It is moving a bit, Pete.
That's a pretty gutsy cut considering you only had 5 mil to work with.
5 inches.
5 inches, Ruby's.
Yeah.
When you can see the light through it, then you'll think about going lighter cut.
No, I still got space there. I'll measure it again though, just because Ruby's making me nervous now.
Well, you're making me nervous and I'm not even turning it.
Hardly anything.
Yeah, I'm down to 3 mil now.
That's what I meant.
Time for sanding.
And you're going to lose a mil sanding.
Well, yeah, but you know,
Yeah, I know, but
That edge a little bit rough, Pete. On the
it's a bit rough.
2 o'clock.
I've got a split there as well. What I'm going
Yeah.
to do with that is I'm going to do one of Brian's old designs. I'm going to do a rolled edge. We see them all the time, don't we? I've completely forgot about them.
Yes, Rob. Rob's asked me a question. Is there any decent pubs for Sunday lunches? If you go to Heckington, Rob, the Royal Oak does a nice Sunday lunch. Right in
He's up round your way, is he?
right in the middle of the at the crossroads where it says left to the right to the station. Just past the co-op on the left-hand side is the Royal Oak on the main road. And I do like Sunday lunch there. Really nice. And they feed you sausage rolls and nice. Sunday lunch roll. (27th), I think, the open day for the 27th of October. There's no McDonald's, Ben. They don't have a McDonald's there. The nearest McDonald's is in a place called Sleaford, which is about 9 miles away.
When Ben arrives on site, there's a McDonald's follows him on a big Arctic with one of these
Yeah.
that opens up wide.
Porta
It
cabin.
sets up specially, yeah.
You want to get off that McDonald's, Ben, and donuts. You'll end up putting too much weight on, mate. You want to start having some lean food, you know, the cabbage in your diet, things like that. This
Okay.
is Roy. Open days 27th of October, I think,
A rolled edge.
in Lessingham, which is not too far from where I live. It's open all day, Roy. Not sure if we got Emma there all day and the Tiny Turner demonstrating all day.
Just say for those who haven't seen it before, you can buy this little gauge here from Procraft and various other people. And all I've done to make it into a bowl thing is to make a wooden handle and glued it in place.
or you could make the whole thing yourself.
You can make the whole thing yourself, but this has actually got a ruler on it as well, which has got numbers on it. So you can actually do numbers if you want, like a scientist or something.
One day I'll have to come over for getting to one of your wood shows.
Especially Harrogate, you ought to go to that one.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
Harrogate's the one, but it's the wrong time to be leaving Canada, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our wood shows used to be after Christmas, but now we're getting them in the fall and at different times. So makes it kind of hard to be in two places at once.
Yeah.
Harrogate was probably one of the biggest shows in the UK, is it?
That's what I understand.
Yep.
Now, William,
is.
you're in Ireland, right?
Yeah, yeah. We rarely have any shows here, Ruby.
Well, this one we're having in October is the first one we've had in probably 5 years. I mean, COVID screwed it up. And then afterwards, it was a case of the vendors couldn't get stock in soon enough to do a show, like where it used to take 6 weeks maximum, it was taking up to 6 months to get stock in. And then some of the venues decided they don't want to host wood shows anymore. So the people running the wood show have really been scrambling to find a location.
Yeah, sorry, Rob, made a mistake. It is the 15th of October. All day, 10 o'clock till 4, I think it is. 5. I think Emma Cook's there. All day.
She's great, Emma.
Very good. Rick Dobney was there last year. He was quite good as well. I like him. Oh, I don't know, Roy. I'll have to look up the postcode of the club. To be honest, I honestly don't know it. It's the Village Hall in Lessingham. Well, they call it Lessingham. But it's actually pronounced Leasingham. Leastingham. Leasingham. It's spelled. It's the Village Hall there. If you come when you come up the A17, you turn off towards Lincoln at Holdingham roundabout. You drive along that road, and there's a sign to the right saying Lessingham. Don't take that sign. Take the next one, which is about another 500 yards along the road. You come round up a hill, and it says Lessingham again. Take that one, and go down that road. Go down the road, and as you go into the place, there's a left-hand turn. But if not, go down that road. Take the first left. The first left again says Village Hall. It says 2 lefts off the main road of the second turn into Lessingham. Can't miss it.
Must move that switch closer to my lathe. I keep saying that.
Are you going to add an oil now?
Yep, I'm going to oil the inside.
Which
So
oil?
What
Wood
engine
do
oil
you
you
use?
expect that?
I shall be using a Danish oil.
What
I think.
engine oil?
Those splits that we saw on the outside, you can see are coming through here. But actually, where I filled them with super glue earlier on, I put in the very thin super glue first, and then I put the medium in on top, with some drying time in between. And that is actually sealed there. That is you can't get your
Excellent.
fingernail in there.
Very good.
So that glue has
That's what
worked
you
its way
want.
all the way through to there.
That may be worth keeping, Pete, that bow.
We'll see.
Or if not, it might be worth sending to Ruby. It'd keep her happy, wouldn't it?
Yep, it will.
I think I'll
Or-
keep the spigot on because I do want to put some brass or something into the outside of these splits, if not the inside. I'm not going to do that tonight because that's a fiddly, boring job.
Well, that or he can hold on to it until I come visit.
Yeah.
Apparently, Pete and Mark and Wayne and I are supposed to get together sometime in the new year.
Yes. We're going to have a meeting in my place because I've got enough bedrooms to put us all up. And hopefully...
Well, and me? And me?
No, there's no room for you, Sarah. You can sleep in the garden shed, mate.
Okay, I'll sleep in the workshop. Just give me a
Sleep
few
with the
cold,
lathe.
sharp cold judges. Sleep with the lathe, I'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll need some shavings on the floor. You'll be all right.
If there's enough
Um,
shavings, that's fine. I'll take
Yeah.
the floor.
No shaving.
If the plan comes together, then the hope is that we will have a joint live with Ruby and Wayne working together. Sure, will be a
nice.
complete treat for you all.
That will be fun. That'll be good.
True.
That would be rather spectacular.
Especially since your lathe is what, 9.5, 10 inches high for me?
Nah,
This
they're
one's
gonna
not
be
quite as
special
high as the
platform.
other one. I've left this one a bit lower. We've got to bend down more often now, Ruby, but that's just for you.
Oh dear.
But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it would be really, really nice, and I know everybody out there would love to see it.
For sure.
If we can make it happen, that'd be grand.
Well, we'll have to come up with something to turn.
Oh, we can figure that out. We've got plenty of wood here. We'll sort something out.
Well, your shop had better be as clean as I left it last time.
Yes, it is absolutely, absolutely. As
Yeah,
clean as
Pete,
you
this-
left it.
The second M gave it away.
Look at the color coming up on that. Is that
Yeah.
If
beautiful?
I
Stunning.
if I'm nice to my neighbour, I can borrow his workshop. I can chuck all these bits in there. That, I'm now cluttering
We
up
get a
the
load of
space to
camp
do
beds in there.
tidies.
We could all come.
Yeah, that would be great.
But yeah, we can make a party of it.
I'll bring a Doom bar. I don't mind.
Well, Pete might have to get some more of those biscuits he got for me the last time. I'm trying to remember the name of them.
I'm trying to remember the name of them as well. I can't remember.
They had like an orange flavor to them.
Yeah, I remember the biscuits. I can't remember what they're called.
Oh, this getting old is so much fun, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
lovely. I love it. Don't have to work. Don't have to go to work. And
Well, it beats the alternative too.
That's true. It's much better than the
Yeah.
alternative.
pushing up daisies.
No, I'm going to push up weeds.
Just to be different.
That's right. They have deeper roots.
Yeah, dandelions.
Harder to get rid of.
Yeah, Doug Miller says Jaffa cakes.
That's it.
That's
Jaffa
what it is,
cake.
yeah.
Good on you, Doug.
Yeah,
Thanks, Doug.
Jaffa cakes. That's it.
I had
Yeah.
never heard of them, let alone tasted them until I went to Pete's place.
They're so
Did you like
easy
them?
to eat.
Yes, well, you were
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You were there too.
Yeah, I know. I was there. Yeah. I like them. You know.
That's the one at the bottom of the packet is the one you're looking for.
My nephew liked them so much. We bought a 6-foot packet of Jaffa cakes.
Right, so I'm leaving it on the chuck because I do want to do.
Some inlay in it.
You see those 3 splits there?
Yeah.
Yep.
If they were more wavy, I would just leave them as they are. But because they're straight lines,
They're gonna
I want
go
to do
more,
something
aren't
with
they?
them. I'm not sure what. I'm thinking brass powder.
Be nice.
That's a gorgeous looking piece of wood.
You can't throw that away though, Pete. That can't go in the bin now.
No.
No.
Well, it could.
No,
No.
but it could, but it ain't going to.
Yeah, so the
Very
inside,
nice.
yeah, all 3 splits are showing on the inside, but they're better disguised in there. You can see the middle one quite clearly, but the other 2 you
Yeah,
can
I
hardly
can see
see.
the others.
We can hardly see the other ones.
So the inside I'll probably leave, but the outside I think, I don't know, bit of brass powder, bit something to make them
Just to
look
make
as though
it, yeah, stand out a
they're a
bit.
feature. Anyway, thanks for coming in, everyone. Got to put that down because I need to use the mouse.
Ben is asking if it's too late to blend in the edges of the inclusion.
No, it's not because I've got the chuck still on there, so I've still got options. That's why I've left it on there.
Yeah.
I've got options of not burning it.
Yes, that's right. Make it better that it doesn't need to be burned.
If you burned it now, Pete, you'd totally ruin your chuck.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you
true.
got to take it off the chuck first. Yeah, that's it, Ruby. You got to take it off the chuck first.
I would need to take it off the chuck before I could burn it because chuck's hard to set light to. Well, thanks for
those that
coming in,
interest-
everyone.
For those that are interested in rugby, Wales are winning.
Excellent. Who are they playing?
Well,
I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
Well, that's no
Roy,
good. You
slip
don't
it
know
in
who
the
they're
chat.
playing.
I don't know who they're playing. Roy, who are they playing? Hurry up. Type it in the chat. Hurry up.
Lucy
Taking too
says,
long.
"Don't burn it. Don't burn it."
No.
Oh, Lucy, I like burning things. It's fun.
Yeah. Keeps him warm, loose.
Yeah.
Thank you for the offer, Lucy. You never know. I might take you up on that.
You can burn all the offcuts that you cut off it before
Thanks,
you
Lucy.
started.
Yeah, I will, but some of those will go to my son who does biography. I'll just clean them up a bit.
Plain Australia.
And other bits will be
Australia.
turned. So not quite ready to burn those yet.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks everyone for coming in. Terry is skiving again next week. He's proper skiving
Yeah,
next
I'll-
week. He's
Pete
not
be
even
doing
coming
next
into
week.
Earworm next week.
No, I'm in France.
So-
Parlez-vous français?
I will think of something else to do then.
Bonjour, mesdames, monsieur, next week.
They have
Oh,
Oh, you
internet
never
Please
know
don't
if
let
there's
these
internet there,
calls-
Pete. If there's internet
Yeah.
there, well,
Yeah, you never know.
you never know. I don't know what's there, actually. All I know is it's peaceful out in the wilds.
That's all you
I've
need.
got a big piece over in the tidy half by the workbench of the workshop. Got a piece that needs coring.
Tidy half. Is that the bit Ruby did?
Yeah,
Tidy
No,
half.
I did the whole shop while I
Ruby
was
did the
there.
whole shop.
I'll have you know.
Oh. You must
but,
cringe now when you see it, Ruby.
We found stuff that he didn't even know he owned.
You know.
That's it. Yeah, so I might do some coring next week if people want to see that.
That'd be good.
What system? You have the woodcut system, don't you?
Woodcut, yeah. Woodcut Max I use. I've got my homemade laser guides for it as well.
Okay,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got the one-way system.
Yes, that's another good system.
Great system as well.
I think any system is a good system, to be honest. Some will give you more options of shapes, but at the end of the day, shapes aren't important. You do that afterwards. As long
Now,
as you can get a chunk of wood out that you can work on.
the big
then-
question is, do you take out the largest one you can first or the smallest one?
That's a good question. Um,
I take out the largest one possible first because
Same here.
on the very front, what I do is I mount a faceplate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have that faceplate on so that I can just take the piece after
Run
the
again.
smoke, put it back on the lathe, put a tenon on it, then take the next one out,
That's right.
and I've still
Yeah.
got a faceplate on it.
That's how I do it 99% of the time. And I also cut mine at around about 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches thick. As I said, I don't necessarily like the shape that the coring system gives me, so I cut them a bit thicker, and then I've got wood to play with. I can change
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
shape.
you can alter the shape a little. Yeah.
Right, I do too.
But yeah, normally I would do that. I've got this big piece that I want to test my lathe out with. There's a piece in the AWGB Touring Roadshow at the moment, which is a whole set of bowls that are all cored from one piece. And they're cored and then just slightly cut so they stack up. And I might do that, and for that you'll be doing for the inside outwards because you want the small one as much as you want the big one. But that requires a better tenon.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
for
a bit
another
more
day.
precise,
That's for another day.
bit more precise cutting out if they all got to fit.
Yeah. If people don't want to see coring next week, don't bother coming in because that's probably what I'm doing, or I might not be. Who knows?
Who knows? In any
Thanks,
event,
everybody.
you guarantee I won't be there next week. Not turning.
So it's cheerio from me and my team. And
Bye-bye.
Yes.
wrong
Take
hand.
care, everyone.
Good
Thanks for
one.
coming in.
Thanks for
Cheers.
coming. Hit this thumbs up on the way out.
Oh yeah, hit the
Yeah.
thumbs.
And subscribe. And subscribe. Anyone who's not
Subscribe.
subscribed to
Yeah.
Pete. show
Yep,
them a bit of
please do.
support. Take care, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.